Hello and welcome to this week's weekly vlog. I'm free of the Argusian Reach rep grind. It's the best feeling in the world of Warcraft. So last vlog, I was angry. Not angry anymore, I've got a Velf. Oh my god, my life's complete. I'm so happy. I love my Velf. I have been maining her since I made her and I'm having such a great time with this new zone scaling thing. I'm 100% all for it. I freaking love it. So I was grinding out my rep last week and I got stuck behind, I needed 45 rep, right, and there was nothing up. There was no world quests, there was no like little blue elite ones, you know, on the other isles that give you Argusian Reach rep as well. There was like nothing up, there was nothing for me to do. And then thankfully a guildie took me to this cave where there's this NPC and you can go and recruit some minions for your order hall. And it got me the rep that I needed, so thank God he knew about that, because otherwise I would have been screwing, and God knows how long it takes for things to pop, you know, sometimes it can be hours. So the first thing I did, obviously, in all my excitement about knowing that I finally could just go and make a Velf, the first thing I did was went to the quartermaster and buy the mounts. Then I logged out and I created my Void Elf priorities and I called her Mida, and it seems to me, just between us two here, that I feel like Blizzard have freed up a hell of a lot of names. So far, I managed to get the name Moogle, which wasn't available before, and Androste. Oh my god, Androste for my Lightforged Paladin. Androste, if you play Dragon Age, then you know that that's just so apt, and she even looks like Androste. And then dude went and created a Void Elf Warrior and got the name Hammer. I was going to actually go and create a character and see if I could get the name Tongs or Nails, because I thought that'd be pretty fun questing together. And another thing that I love about this whole level scaling thing is that from 1 to 60 you can do stuff together, you can do dungeons together and you can queue together, which is so important for someone like me who has more time to play WoW than dude. You know, I can tend to get ahead of him quite easily, and then he'll log on to play and I've gone ahead by like 4 or 5 levels. And then he kind of gets in this like mental space where he's like, oh, you've gone ahead of me, there's no point, I can't catch you up. But now we can all still play together, and there's lots of guildies who are leveling alts, and because they're all different levels we can still all play together, and I absolutely adore that aspect of this level scaling thing. So I started my questing off in, I had the option of Darkshore Wetlands or Stone Talon Mountains, and I've done Darkshore a few times, so I didn't go there. And Wetlands, I've just got a lot of bad memories from Wetlands. And Stone Talon Mountains was when I first ever started playing World of Warcraft. That was one of the places that I remember questing through it. I remember getting ganked there. I leveled on a PvP server when I first started playing. And it had a lot of like nostalgia for me. So I started questing in Stone Talon Mountains and it was proper blast from the past. The zones changed a lot. Most of the original zones have changed a lot from what I remember. But it was still super fun, and running around and just all the new quests, and I'm making an effort to actually read the quests now. I'm a click and go kind of girl. Like, if you want me to kill 8 things, I'll go and kill them, no questions asked. But now I'm starting to read the quests and I'm like, oh my god, we killed those 8 things because you and your brother fought side by side against them and your brother died, and now you want like pelts from those 8 things to like show respect to his death, and like you're victorious and shit, and that's great. And now I feel really good because we killed those 8 things. And so the quests have a lot more meaning for me now rather than just click and go. Also, from reading the quests, I went up to this one NPC called Naralax, and I was like, I know that name. Where do I know that name from? Because I'm terrible. I mean, this is like, don't hate me, but I'm really bad at Warcraft lore and names and stuff like that. It's same with Game of Thrones. I'm really bad at remembering the family names and surnames and the banners and all that stuff. And everyone's like, oh, don't you know of Heistfrikhemus and Shudagar? And I'm like, no, who's that? But this is how I am with World of Warcraft. Anyway, so I came upon this NPC called Naralax, and I was like, I recognise your name and I recognise you, where have I seen you from? And then I read his quest that he gave me, and it was all about how the Wailing Caverns came to be and what they represent. And he even had that Tauren person next to him who helped him when you go into the Wailing Caverns and you have to do the escort quest with the Tauren and you go and free Narlax from the dream. And I was like, my mind was blown that after what, 10 years or maybe 11 years of playing World of Warcraft, and I've only just discovered how Wailing Caverns came to be and why and what it represents, and it's incredible. So I'm all for reading the quests now, and when I get into a dungeon group, you know, you get the dungeon quest at the start, like I'm that person that stands there reading it now for ages. Everyone else has like cleared half of the dungeon and I'm like, no wait, I need to read what we're doing here. Why are we killing these guys? I need to know. So in other news, last week I released a song that's kind of different to what I normally release on this channel. It's called Beth's Theme, and it's based on a story written by Tiro1000 on Reddit. And if you haven't read it, oh my god, it just blew my mind. If you haven't read it, then head on over to Reddit and read it. It's really good, and it's kind of scary, so there's a certain section where you need to be 18 plus to read it. Thankfully I am, so I was able to read it. And it really reminded me of, and if you're of my generation then you'll probably remember the Point horror stories. When I was growing up I used to read those by the dozens. I loved that series of books and it really reminded me of the Point horror series. And when I was reading it I was totally engrossed. I think there's 8 parts to the story. And I was just reading one after the other, back to back. I was really enjoying it, and the reason why I started reading it is because Mew, the pianist, he had released a song on his channel called Beth's Theme, and I went and listened to it and I was like, oh, that's really beautiful, and there's a lot of scope for lyrics and like vocal melodies and stuff. And then I saw in his video description that it was based on this story, so then I went and read it and I was like, right, I need to write the lyrics for it. But in all honesty, I wrote the lyrics before I read the story. So the actual song itself is based on just one sentence. I think it was something along the lines of Beth is a very insecure, lonely girl who has something like problems in life and death. And I based the song on that sentence, not the story. So when I went and read the story and then compared my song lyrics to it, I was like, ah, and the lyrics still make sense, but more so for the first part of the story. So if you go and read it and try and relate to Beth from the song, it will relate to parts 1, 2 and 3, I think it is, but then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 there's, you know, other things going on that this song isn't quite apt for with my lyric. But I'm very happy with how it turned out, and as I mentioned, it's not something that I would normally release on my channel. I like to keep my channel kind of about World of Warcraft or Dragon Age related content, and with the odd other video game cover thrown in. But I love singing lots of different types of things, and because of the YouTube algorithm I tend to not put those things on YouTube because it will destroy my channel. When I upload anything that doesn't have the words World of Warcraft parody in the title, it kills my views for other videos that do have World of Warcraft parody in the title. It's silly, and I don't know why that is, but that's just how it is. But it seems sad to me to have to limit what content I put on my channel purely because of the algorithm and how it works. So it was nice for me to be able to share something a little bit emo with you guys and a bit angsty, and to be honest, I love doing stuff like that. I have an inner emo in me, so it was nice to free her and let her do what she wants to do. But this week, stay tuned for the royalty-free vocal noodle coming out. Thinking about doing something a bit romance themed because it's Valentine's Day this week. And I'm also thinking about, for my patrons, like doing more patron requests, because I have a list up I have like about 7 pages of patron requested songs, which is brilliant. Like that's not too much. I can never have too many requests from my patrons. That's great. But doing one a month I feel like maybe isn't enough to get them covered and get them out. I mean, a lot of them I'm finding, like when I go to try and research the song, they don't actually have an instrumental, and that is really problematic because I'm really rubbish at composing, so it's not something that would come out sounding any good if I tried to do it myself. So a lot of these songs I'm still like, I have alerts set up on this website that I go to for all of my karaoke songs, and they will alert me when the instrumental is ready, so I'm waiting on things like that with my Patreon requests. But I'm actually thinking about upping how many I do, because I'm only doing one a month at the moment and I've got 7 pages of emails of them, and so I'm thinking, you know, because I've dropped down under one of my Patreon rewards at the moment, which is the live performance, I'm thinking, well, I can replace that in a month with another Patreon request, so that way I can kind of get more out. But we'll see what happens with that. But next week there is a Patreon request coming out anyway, so so that's it for this weekly vlog. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and enjoyed playing your allied races, and if you don't have your allied race yet, you can do it. Just do it. I believe in you. If I can do it as a monk healer who refuses to change spec, you can do it. You've got this. Just keep doing it. And when you hit that brick wall and you think, I just can't, I don't want to log on and do it anymore, just do it, because then you'll have your allied race and you'll be able to play it. And I tell you what, I moaned about the rep grind, but when you do the rep grind and you get it and then you get your allied race, it feels so good. So keep doing it, stick with it. But I'll see you on Wednesday for the royalty-free vocal noodle that's coming out. And if you're a patron, I'll see you on Friday for the Friday surprise. And if you're not, then I'll see you next Monday for the next weekly vlog. Have a wonderful week.